Gift! What are you doing here? Pastor Henry called out, his voice a mix of shock and disbelief. He rolled down the window of his car, his eyes widening as he took in the sight before him. Gift leaned closer to the car, a sly smile playing on her lips. Pastor Henry, how far now? You dey follow this road? Oh yeah, come make I do you well. She adjusted her stance, deliberately exposing her chest, her tone dripping with a mix of defiance and desperation. One evening, as Gift stood in her usual spot with the other girls, a sleek black car approached and slowed down. The girls shouted, "Customer! Customer!" rushing to the window. The man inside pointed directly at Gift. "You fine girl, come," he said. Gift hesitated, but the other girls pushed her forward. "Go now. He wants you," they urged. As she approached the car and looked inside, her blood ran cold. Sitting behind the wheel was Pastor Henry, the man who used to preach in our village church. "Pastor," she exclaimed, her voice shaking. The pastor looked just as shocked. "Gift? Is it really you?" Gift folded her arms and frowned. "Pastor, so you know this kind of junction? You, of all people. What happened to the heavenly race you used to preach about?" Today on Niger Trends TV, we bring you the inspiring story of Gift, a humble girl with a good upbringing. Watch as she navigates life's toughest challenges, faces unimaginable struggles, and ultimately rises above them all. This is a tale of resilience, hope, and the power of second chances. Stay tuned. When Gift's friend Precious called to tell her about a job in the city, Gift packed her only piece of clothing and boarded a bus. She had no idea what awaited her, but she carried hope in her heart, a hope for a better life, far away from the struggles of her little village. Gift had lost her parents when she was just a teenager. Life had been a battle since then. Poverty crushed every dream she had, leaving her with no help and no direction. But when Gift arrived in the bustling city, she quickly realized that things were not as Precious had made them seem. Precious welcomed Gift warmly, but wasted no time revealing the truth. "Gift, this is the only job I could find," Precious said, her voice firm. "I sell my body, and that's how I survive." Gift was shocked. "You mean you're a prostitute?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Yes, and you'll have to join me if you want to survive here," Precious replied. Gift refused outright. "God forbid," she said. She couldn't imagine herself doing such a thing. "I will look for decent work," she insisted. The next morning, Gift walked into Bright Future's cleaning services, her heart beating fast. She looked around the fancy office, feeling out of place in her simple clothes. "Good morning," she said quietly to the receptionist sitting behind a big desk. "I came to ask about the cleaning job you advertise." The receptionist glanced at her and frowned. "Do you have a CV?" Gift shook her head. "No, ma'am, but I can work hard." The receptionist sighed, looking her up and down. "We only hire people with experience and proper documents. Without that, we can't give you the job." Gift's voice trembled as she spoke. "Please, ma'am, I'll do anything. Just give me a chance." "I'm sorry," the receptionist replied sharply. "We can't help you." Gift turned away slowly, feeling the weight of disappointment on her shoulders as she stepped back into the busy street. The next day, she tried at a small boutique, but the same rejection followed. Each rejection chipped away at her hope, but she kept trying, even as the city seemed to close its doors on her. She spent months knocking on doors, searching for work, anything at all, but no one was hiring. Desperation began to creep in. One evening, Precious confronted her. "Gift, let's be realistic. Look at yourself. I can't keep feeding you and paying all the bills. I can't carry this burden alone. Do you want to go back to that village and die in poverty? You can't do this." There's nothing there for you. After some back and forth, Gift finally agreed to join her. Gift joined Precious and a group of girls at a notorious street corner. It was a world unlike anything she had ever imagined. Cars would approach, some slowing down as the girls rushed to them. "Fine girl, how much for the night?" men would ask. 10,000 naira, a girl would reply confidently. "Then keep it, you must be joking. I'll pay you 5. "This isn't your level of driving, Gift," she said, as Gift watched them and struggled to adjust. She felt out of place and unclean, but the money came quickly, and for the first time in years, she wasn't hungry. One evening, as Gift stood in her usual spot with the other girls, a sleek black car approached and slowed down. The girls shouted, "Customer, customer," as they rushed to the window. The man inside pointed directly at Gift. "You, fine girl, come," he said. Gift hesitated, but the other girls pushed her forward. "Go now, he wants you," they said. As she approached the car and looked inside, her blood ran cold. Sitting behind the wheel was Pastor Henry, the man who used to preach at our village church. "Pastor," she exclaimed, her voice shaking. The pastor looked just as shocked. "Gift, is it really you?" Gift folded her arms and frowned. "Pastor, so you know this kind of junction? You, of all people. What happened to the heavenly race you used to preach about?" The pastor stammered, clearly embarrassed. I'm coming from a crusade. I can't believe this is you, Gift. How did you end up here?" Gift rolled her eyes. "Pastor, we're not here to discuss me. My fee is 10,000 naira. If you're not ready, let me go back to my business." The pastor sighed. "Get in the car." After Gift entered the car, the two of them didn't say much. Pastor Henry focused on driving, while Gift sat quietly, her arms crossed, looking out of the window. They arrived at a nearby hotel. Pastor Henry parked the car, got out, and Gift followed him to the reception. He paid for a room with cash. "Room 23, the receptionist said, sliding the key to him. In the room, Gift tried to get straight to business. She removed her shoes and adjusted her dress, moving closer to the pastor. The pastor put her hands down. "Gift, slow down. First, sit down. Pastor, whether you perform or not, you must pay me my full amount. No stories," she said firmly. "Sit. Let's talk. I want to help you." Gift laughed. "Help me, Pastor? Don't start preaching now. You're here, so let's not waste time. Let's get down to business." She made a few attempts to get him to fulfill the deal, but he refused to cooperate. Instead, he asked her about her life and how she ended up in this situation. At first, Gift was defensive. "Pastor, you can't understand. Just pay me and let me go." But the pastor didn't give up. "Gift, you were a good girl back in the village. What happened? Please talk to me." Gradually, Gift broke down. Through tears, she told him everything. Her parents' death, the poverty, her failed job search, and how Precious had pressured her into this life. The pastor promised to help her. "Gift, God hasn't forgotten you. You can live this life. The church will support you." Gift was skeptical. "Pastor, people in the church only judge us. How can they help me?" "Trust me," the pastor said. "I'll talk to them." True to his word, Pastor Henry returned to his church and shared Gift's story without naming her. The church raised money to enroll her in a hairdressing school. They also arranged for her to stay with an elder in the church while she trained. After Gift graduated from the hairdressing school and opened her own salon, her life took a new turn. She became well known in the city for her skills and kindness, and her salon was always busy with customers. She had left her past behind and was focused on building her future. One Sunday during service, a soft-spoken and hard-working young man named Charles, who served as a church usher, couldn't take his eyes off Gift. After the service, he walked up to her with a warm smile. "Sister Gift, you look good today." "Thank you," Gift replied shyly. Over the next few weeks, Charles and Gift became friends. He would often stop by her salon to say hello or help her with errands. His kindness and gentle nature slowly broke down the walls Gift had built around her heart. One evening, after a church program, Charles walked Gift home. As they stood outside her door, he looked at her and said, "Gift, I admire your strength and your faith. I've been praying about this, and I want to ask if you let me walk this journey of life with you as your husband." Gift was taken aback. Tears welled up in her eyes as she thought about how far God had brought her. She smiled and replied, "Charles, I've prayed for someone like you. Yes, I will." Their wedding was a simple but joyful celebration attended by the church members who had supported Gift's transformation. Pastor Henry officiated, his voice filled with emotion as he declared them husband and wife. Gift and Charles built a loving home together, filled with faith and gratitude. Gift often shared a story to inspire others, showing that no matter how far you fall, God's grace can lift you up and bless you in ways you never imagined. Moral lesson: life can push people into desperate situations, but redemption is always possible. Gift's story shows that no matter how far someone falls, with support and determination, they can rise again. Never judge people for their circumstances. Instead, extend a hand to help them find a better path. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your support means a lot to us and helps us create more amazing content for you. Please support me by subscribing. See you all in my next video.